Now, just under 1,500 for his career. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an All-Pro. One of the most feared defenders of his era. And one of the greatest men, to be honest with you. Please welcome to the breakfast table, Donnie Edwards.
Hey! Morning, Donnie.
Morning, everyone.
Donnie, let's get to this because I don't want to waste too much time now. You're on the latest episode of NFL Legends Podcast, and that's available today on Apple Podcasts alongside John Randall.
Johnny Randall.
Who was feared as well. Just give us a little taste of what you guys talked about on that.
Well, you know, we talked about transition. We talked about, you know, trying to figure out, like, our path after we get done playing. And it's interesting, too, because a lot of times you don't know what path that's going to go down to.
Yeah.
So we just talk about the challenges and, like, you know, what your passions are and, you know, and the avenue you're going to go down.
One of the great players of the game, but Nate mentioned it, one of the great gentlemen of the game. Your philanthropic efforts were almost always as important as your playing on the field. For the fans at home, what is your philanthropic cause and how active are you with it today?
Well, I'm pretty active. It's called the Best Defense Foundation, and for the last 14 years, I've been taking World War II veterans back to their battlefields and just really, like, honoring and recognizing our military veterans. I mean, you know, it all goes back to my grandfather, Maximino Razzle. He was my father figure in my life, and he raised me up. My father wasn't there in my life, and he's the one that just grabbed me and told me that, you know, if you work hard in life, you can achieve anything you want to here in America because of what we did for you guys. And I never forgot that because I always remember the World War II veterans and, you know, and them giving back to us and give us this opportunity in life now. So, you know, lo and behold, the first one in my family to graduate from college and you know, let alone, you know, get a master's degree. It's all because he set that foundation in me to, like, work hard and go after it.
That's the greatest generation. Those guys are now nearing 100 years old. Like, you're taking men that are in their 80s and 90s, and you're a 30, 40-year-old guy. What's that like?
45.
Yeah. What's that like?
Well, you look 25.
No, it's been great, actually. I've taken over 175 veterans back to where they fought and served.
Wow.
We just got back from Holland and the Battle of the Bulge. We took 6 guys back there, and it's just wonderful. Taking them back to where they fought and served with their brothers, so they have that closure. They have that camaraderie together, going back and understanding that, you know, what they did 74 years ago hasn't been forgotten. And it's just really, really special. I mean, if you ever get a chance, please check out the photos and the videos because it just means a lot to these guys. And, you know, this is the last of the group. This is last, you know, these. And I don't know how much more time we have them, but as we have time with them now, it's so great to hear their stories and continue to pass it on to the next generation.
I can't wait to see that and learn more about it, of course, on the Legends podcast. You mentioned brothers. Let's talk about a guy that you were brothers with the LA Chargers, or with the San Diego Chargers, in Phillip Rivers. You were with him for his first 3 seasons.
I believe so.
The league. He has this new thing going on. He's calling it New Copy, right? He's saying it's a new beginning, a rebirth. How is he different now in your eyes than what he was like those first 3
You know,
years?
honestly, I was thinking about Phillip because I saw him play this past Thursday, and he hasn't changed really to me. I mean, he's always, when he came in, he was just down and tough and just like not the typical quarterback that you see. You know, he's hanging out with the guys after practice and like working hard on his, you know, his craft and just like never, I mean, from day one, he was always competitive. And he was always like, I'm going to get you. You know, and he hasn't changed. I mean, you look at him now, I mean, he's still going hard at it, you know? And he's just so much more confident, and the guy's ageless.
Yeah, right about that.
How about the other guy? We look at Drew Brees as an iconic Saint, but his time with the Chargers was fascinating. When he came in, you were there. Do you remember him being something special? Was there a moment you said, this guy's got it?
Well, I love Drew. I mean, I've known Drew since, you know, since his first year in 2001. Him and LT came in together to the Chargers and, you know, playing against them and then have an opportunity to play with them. It's just, you know, was fantastic. It was great because, you know, Drew's one of those guys who he works harder than anyone you ever met before. I mean, this guy, you never see it. I mean, you know, like guys, you see what they do on Sunday. You see the you know, the cake at the end, but you don't know what they do behind the
Not everybody works, Donnie.
Behind the scenes, right. But I got to tell you, Drew Brees is one of those guys that works hard. Like, I mean, I don't know anyone that studies more, watches film. I mean, this guy is all about football. And I saw that early on, even when he was struggling early on with the Chargers in 2003, I believe it was. He still worked, and he was just so confident. And then he had the shoulder injury. But, you know, it's just I'm so happy with the success that he's had. He's a really good friend of mine, and there's no better, you know, person to have it than Drew Brees. I mean, the guy is just incredible, incredible. And I always say, like, when I grow up, I want to be Drew.
Oh, wow. Well, speaking of incredible, you're incredible. And make sure you guys remember to check out Donnie's episode, NFL Legends Podcast. You can download it on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate you, man, for what you did on the field. As a player that played against you, you were a dominant force, a guy that I had to avoid. And back in those days, rules weren't the same. So you used to knock my block off. But I'm glad that you're just as passionate about what you have going on out of the game as you were in the game. Thank you for everything you do, man. Donnie Edwards.
Donnie,
Awesome.